What is up, YouTube, and all my fish keeping friends? How you guys doing out there in Fish Tank Land? Let's see, it's 2 o'clock exactly on the dot. I see that there's some people who've already made it to the stream. I want to welcome all of you today. I'm having a very relaxing, uneventful Sunday, which works for me. But thank you all for showing up. I do appreciate you all hanging out and popping in. It looks like Pro Tim was first in the chat. Congratulations to you, Rogers Aquarium, Jad, Heather Nielsen. You made news today. 54 Punchy, one of my faithful mods. Good morning to you, sir, ma'am. Oh, why do I do that? I don't know why I do. I deserve punishment for that one. Oh, as much as I try to, I force myself to get it right because I got it wrong in the beginning, and I just always do that. Oh, you can punish me. Yes, ma'am. That's so southern, though. I want to say Miss Punchy because that's how you put it to me. Oh, I'm embarrassed now. Anyways, Cecilia's Hobbies. Hello, how are you? Knackered Aquarius, what's up? I'm just taking it easy today. Yesterday was kind of rough trying to film the news, and this camera is a pain. If you guys didn't see the news this morning, it looks pretty and all, but it is done. This is paperweight now, pretty much. I might be able to fix it, but it's probably going to cost me more than the camera is worth to fix it. But the microphone's good. But camera is done. Camera is done. Luckily, tomorrow, it looks, according to the tracking, the camera, the Sony A6500 is already in Puerto Rico as of yesterday afternoon. So I'm pretty sure that by tomorrow afternoon or whatnot, by the time I get off of work, I'll be able to go check the mailbox, and I should have the camera here. That'll be awesome. About that. Everybody's starting to roll into the chat. I see the chat's up here in front of me. I just want to have a little fun today. I'm just taking it easy. I slept wrong. I fell asleep on the couch and jacked up my back yesterday too. So I've been stretching, doing the yoga and stuff to get it back together. Daryl Dimmer, what are you doing? Thank you so much for the super chat. Ashley, reporting for duty. Good deal, good deal. Let's see. Eric, how are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep, I'm just kind of getting ready for Peru, honestly. Just trying to put everything together. Kind of like making a packing list. I like to do that. I've been on a few wild, crazy adventures in my life, and for me, it's really important to kind of create a little bit of a list of what I want and fine tune it. And you know, there's always something that's like, if I put it on the list and I think about it, and then times I'll be like, no, I really don't need to take that, and it'll go aside. So I like to start early, especially with a trip like this where I really need to keep it light for a couple of reasons. For one, you don't want to have any checked baggage, especially when you're traveling countries like this. You don't want to end up losing something or missing something that you need. So I'm going to be running with just carry-on, fit everything into carry-on. I'm literally bringing 3 pairs of clothes, 4 altogether. 1 pair of clothes which I'll travel in. Those will get cleaned and put away until the end of the trip, and then we will have those to travel home with. And then I'll have 3 pairs of clothes for the trip, during the trip. I'm going to have 2 like expedition clothes, sets of hiking clothes, stuff to go out in the wild. And then I'll have something, maybe a combination of some things that I can just wear comfortably at the end of the day when we're hanging out, and we're having dinner, and we're just chilling out around the house and checking out the fish that have been collected in the tanks, and just talking and enjoying dinner and stuff and tea or whatnot in the evening. So I definitely am going to have some comfortable clothes for the end of the day. My goal is to have sandals and like that, so that after we've been in our feet have been wet, we've been in boots, and we've been out in the water all day, that we can actually just dry our feet out, you know, before the next day. We will be doing 6 solid days of fish collecting out of the trip. The trip is going to be a little longer for me. I'm leaving on the 12th to travel. It's going to take me about It's going to take me like 36 hours almost because I bought cheap tickets. So I'm going to be having some crazy layovers. I believe I will be in Fort Lauderdale for almost like 10 or 12 hours. So if anybody's in Fort Lauderdale, it'd be really cool to hang out with another YouTuber or hashtag fish fam. I definitely would be interested in maybe going check out a fish store or something, or even a breeder's house or something. That would be interesting. But I will be in Fort Lauderdale for a whole day pretty much. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do that day. I haven't made any plans, and I really don't know anybody in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So that's up, and that's out in the open. I don't know what I'm going to do there. Besides that, the whole trip is going to be for me from the 12th to the 24th. So it's going to be almost 2 weeks for me, 12 days. And the expedition itself is supposed to be an 8-day expedition, but there is some traveling in there. Definitely, I'm going to be hitting Lima, and then I'm going to spend the night in Lima with Dwayne Kitchell. I don't see him in the chat yet. I'm sure he's busy cleaning up tanks and getting them ready for fish that he brings home. But I'll be spending one night with Dwayne Kitchell in a hotel, and then the next day Corey will arrive into Lima, and then that afternoon we will all fly out together to Puerto Maldonado, and then that's where we will be staying. There'll be a house there that is hosted by the expedition company Go Wild Peru. We'll be staying there, and they did remind me that they will have some extra blankets for us on hand. I think in my head, I assumed it would be nice and tropical and warm like it is here, like every day of my life here in the Caribbean. But nope, it is wintertime in Peru right now. June and July are the peak winter months. It will be nice and chilly. We'll be getting temperatures as low as 65 or below that even. And we will definitely see some snow up in the hills. That's for sure. I don't know why my lights just went out on that timer. I think that's off. That's off. Shooting your phone, Jasper. Something's on off. I turned them on real early this morning for stuff, and so the timer's off. Anyways, let me check out the chat. How long? Oh, Cecilia said, "How long is the trip?" Yeah, I'm totally up for questions. I'm just kind of hanging out, trying to just talk about Peru and different things I'm going to be dealing with while I'm there, really. And joking about Jaguar attacks in Peru, which was really kind of funny, but I did a little research on it, and there is definitely some possibilities. There's definitely it is a real threat technically. There is a possibility. It's super rare, but there is a possibility of angry jaguars. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. It's going to be, checking something big off my bucket list for sure. But this is definitely going to be the first trip for me of many. I know I'm going to be going back. I'm going to be going back with Go Wild Peru next year. I'm for sure. I've already kind of pretty much planned on that, and I definitely look forward to going to some other spots in South America. I have friends in Ecuador, and I look forward to doing that as well. Um, staying in Peru. Staying in Ecuador and probably even Argentina is another one on my list. Let's see. It's 110 degrees in Texas right now, or today. There you go. I used to live in Arizona. I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and I lived in Prescott, Arizona. Spent some time in Phoenix, and yeah, Arizona can be a rough one too. New Mexico and Texas can get pretty hot. That's for sure. Let me check out the stream. I'm gonna go and check out the stream. Is 54. Yeah, we might even be seeing temperatures. At least in the mountains, there'll be temperatures even as low as 54 degrees. We've been told that if it does, there could be a possibility of snow in the mountains and the higher elevations, about 20,000 feet or whatnot. And if it does get bad enough, there might be some days that we actually have to cancel our fish collecting trip for that day, or make new plans, do a plan B, and go to a different location. That's for sure. It's Miss Punchy, Miss 54. Now I'm correcting someone else. I can't believe I did that a minute ago. Just autopilot. D, how are you? Good to see you here. I enjoyed the last bit of your stream today. I'm really sorry I missed the whole thing. I have to say that was really cute though. The video that you put out with your daughter going out and doing a little wild fish collecting is totally my style of thing. But it's just nice to see you having a mother daughter day and doing that. That was really cool. Ms. Ms. Punchy. Oh boy. So yeah, you can see in the title of my stream. Well, for one, it would be really nice if there was a way to actually make a thumbnail ahead of time for a Google Hangouts uh, live stream event. But I know I can go in later and change the thumbnail. I think that's something that Google really should change, to have the ability to create a thumbnail without having to change your channel art to get the thumbnail changed for that. But I wanted to make a funny little thumbnail. I had starting to put it together, and I realized that was going to be a waste of my time. Let's see here. 54. Big, don't rub it in. Don't make it worse. You can get me in more trouble. Yeah, yeah. This is Java must benefit or not benefit from high flow. I'm not sure about that. That's an interesting question. I think that Java Moss prefers more of a less flow than more flow. That's for sure. Um, I don't think that it would handle very well in the wild that way, in a high flow environment. It would just get washed away. It doesn't root like that. So if anything, it would prefer and benefit from a little bit more of a, if anything, a stagnant environment with almost zero flow, so that it can actually grow without being blown around and ripped apart. Let's see. Boy, oh boy. Let's see. So I do have some pictures. I was looking at different things about the Jaguars and the possibility of Jaguar attacks. It's a little wild, but it's just a little far out there. It's not really fish related, not too much. It is Peru related, and me and Corey were even joking about it in a couple messages, just about about everything will be fun. We'll have a great time as long as we don't get attacked by Jaguars, right? Is it gonna let me do this? I can try to see if it'll let me do this. And woo, that's always fun when that happens, right? And anyways, so this is a jaguar in its natural habitat, hanging out in the tree. It's one thing people should, need to keep in mind when you are out there, when you're hiking through the jungle. Jaguars like to hang out in the trees. That's their preferred kind of place for a lookout. So if you are probably going to get attacked by a jaguar, it's going to be from above, jumping out of the tree. They are known to attack crocodiles. They are very aggressive, and they're not scared of another animal with very large teeth. That for sure. Um, there's plenty of pictures on the internet of jaguars making crocodiles their dinner or lunch or breakfast. But there has been known attacks of jaguars in other parts of the world as well, not just in South America, but India, in different places like that. I believe this attack is somewhere in South America or India. I'm not sure. This gentleman was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it seems this jaguar in this incident was going on a rampage in town. It was kind of almost like a rabid jaguar. I'm not sure, but he wasn't happy with anybody, and he tried to attack multiple people, and it took them all day to get to tranquilize this jaguar. So they are aggressive, and they aren't scared of people. to a certain extent. Um, this is a little. This is an awesome close-up shot of that incident. Yeah, he knew it was coming, and he was trying to run, but he didn't get away from him. That's for sure. Um, But gunfire obviously doesn't bother them either. In some cases, if they are angry, and bullets are not going to stop them unless you actually get them. This guy looks like he actually lost one flip flop, and he's about to lose the next one. He was running so fast to get away from that Jaguar. But there are ways to protect yourself realistically if you were in that kind of situation. Um, Jaguars are not the most aggressive of large felines like cats. They are going to probably come at you from above, from trees, something like that. I did take these images just to clarify. These come from WikiHow off of the internet. So I hope I don't get myself in trouble for that. But bam, bam, bam. Um, anyways, one key thing to know though, if you do see a jaguar, you want to, and he doesn't see you, the best thing to do is to just step back and don't make it obvious. Do not try to make eye contact with him. Try to sneak away as best you can without letting him notice you. If you do make eye contact with the jaguar, that could come across as kind of aggressive behavior and timid, as if you're trying to initiate something with them. So as little eye contact as possible is best. You do not want to run away from a jaguar, because just like any other dog or cat, any other animal like that, you run, they're gonna chase you. They're gonna look at that as an opportunity, and, and they will chase you. So the best thing to do is slowly back away. If he does come towards you, just like a bear, the best thing that you can do is make yourself look as big as you can. Put your arms out up in the air, and make loud noises, clap, and yell, big mean bear. And that's about the best thing that you can do in that situation. But running would be the last thing that you want to do. They're one of the fastest cats, and they are going to catch you. If you do come in contact with him, if he does actually attack you, most people would think to punch at them or something like that. That's not going to be the best thing. Just on the side of the head or something like that, it's not going to get you very far. Really, the best way to irritate them and to get them to be annoyed by the situation is to punch them in the nose, literally, and to stick your fingers in their eyes. And that's probably your best bet for irritating them and getting them to the point where it's not worth their time or effort. So I would recommend that. Punching them in the eye, punching them in the nose, and sticking your fingers in their eyes or sticking your fingers in their nose, kind of to irritate them. And last, if that doesn't help you at all, the way a jaguar likes to attack and kill their prey, they don't necessarily go for your neck like other cats would, and like a dog would want to go for your jugular, want to go for your neck to kill you. They have very large teeth, and their way of killing is to pierce right through the skull through their teeth. So they're going to go straight for your head. So the best thing that you can do is put your hands on the back of your head and put your face down and do everything you can do to protect your skull. Have them bite your hands rather than your head. So that is the how to protect yourself from Jaguars 101. I felt that was, I don't know, probably not necessary, but hey, what are you gonna do? I know that I had to think about it for a minute, anyways. Make sure that I knew what I needed to do. But they definitely will go for your head first. That's the way that they kill their prey, is to get their teeth through your skull and to kill you that way, rather than try to go for your neck. If they might go for the back of your neck. 54 Punchy, thank you so much for putting out Patreon there. Yes, thick hat or helmet seems to be helmets and shields seems to be the best bet. Jeff Rose Fish Keeping, how are you doing? I'm sorry that I missed your chat the other day. in the evening. I don't think I made it there in time for most of that. It was had a really rough weekend, to be completely honest. Personal stuff going on, but it is all good. It is all good. Dank Tanks, how are you? I'm embarrassed because I don't want to show you the box again that I have sitting here right next to me that has a post-it on it with your address. But I get off of work tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's all about getting to the post office before they close at 4. That's really been my big bummer. The hardest part for me is having a full-time job that is really professional, and there's no cutting corners, no getting out of work early. Really, I might be able to go at lunch and use my half-hour lunch to go to the post office, but it's coming. Don't It's coming, and it'll be heavy when you get it. Don't worry. Let's see. Devin Peppers, how are you? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Jaguars. They definitely they are not as aggressive as other cats. More than likely, they would prefer to not be bothered by you and not waste their time with a human, unless they're really angry. If you're in their area, um, they do make dens for their baby and for their young. So if you were to come up across them, you're probably getting close to their den. So the best thing to do is turn around and go the other direction. Go back where you came from and go the other direction. Do not try to go around them because you might stop walk. You might walk. Um, but I guess those are really the biggest fears for me. People have asked me, "What are your biggest fears about going to Peru?" Besides getting robbed in Lima, it would be any possible encounter with jaguars and mosquitoes carrying diseases such as dengue or any of the other malaria or anything else. And that's about it. Besides that, I plan on finding Tetra. That's another big question that people have been asking me, which completes the title of my stream today is Tetra. Uh, Everybody wants to know, what do you want to find? What do you want to collect while you're there? And I'm really, 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 really interested in cold mountain stream tetra. Um, there's a couple that I'm interested in finding. There's more of a crystal tetra that's looks like a glass catfish, but it is in the tetra family. I look forward to finding that. That would be really cool. A school of those would be awesome in a tank for sure. There is the blue tetra, and then there's the red blue tetra. Those are also really interesting. I would be interested in and finding those as well. Dwayne, if you missed it, you could watch again. I just did a full tutorial with pictures and diagrams on how to protect yourself against jaguars. I don't know which you came in the stream and if you missed it or not. If you see a jaguar, close your eyes real tight. Yeah, well, like I was saying there, if you see the jaguar and he does not see you, quietly walk backwards and walk away. Do not run. Do not run. Do not run, or you're going to be dinner. Bacterial infections is probably another thing that could be with the water supply. I was thinking about that. Living here in the Caribbean, we have that as a problem. It's a really popular problem here. Just simple things like staph and stuff like that can find their way into the water supply. Simple things like frogs and lizards falling into the water supply or dying in the water supply, or just the feces from those reptiles being in the water supply. So there is definitely that. Bullet ants. Oh shoot, bullet ants. But there is definitely ants. That would be insane. But that goes back to some basic hiking know-how, and you don't just reach out for things. I've learned that a long time ago in my youth of Boy Scouting. You don't just reach out for things for support to grab. That's what a walking stick should be for if you really need to have that. But reaching out and grabbing a tree here or there to get some support, or and walking over logs and not paying attention to what could be underneath that log. We won't be doing a lot of hiking, as far as I've been told. I was kind of looking forward to that, but it really seems that a lot of we're pretty much going to drive right up to the riverbed. Uh, we'll be able to go in most cases while we're in the water. Um, Probably one of my biggest, not fears, but anxieties is getting in the water. Living here in the Caribbean with water that's degrees on the shoreline, we are going to be in water that is really cold, coming out of the mountains from high elevations up to 20,000 feet, and where the snow is. So it's going to be like the water is going to be like snow melt. So um, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty cold in those creeks and stuff. That's probably going to be, that's, I think about that more than anything, more than animals or bugs or poisonous plants or dirty water. I'm thinking about not making myself look really bad when I get in the water and cry about it too much. So I feel like I should practice some in some bathtubs of ice water, acclimated to the ice cold water that we're going to be in. Not ice cold, but it's going to be pretty cold water. Cold, coldest water I've been in a long time. Was there not too long ago, and he said that they were camping and they would go into the water to bathe because they were camping. And he said there was a couple of days there where he just opted out. He washed his face and called it a day because he wasn't. It was too cold. Yeah, we'll be walking up the creek. We'll be walking along the waterways more than anything, to get to some cooler little beds of water and stuff like that, little pools and beds, because this is the dry season. It's the wintertime. It is also the dry season. So there will definitely be, the waterways will be much slower than they normally are. It's going to be pretty dried up and a little murky as well. So the fish will be concentrated. It does make it a little easier to net and catch the fish, but it's a totally different environment in the rainy season, and when the Amazon is full and all these estuaries and tributaries are full. That's interesting. There we go. Sea temperature is 60. Thank you, Ashley, for the live upshare weather conditions in Peru. She says there it is 67 degrees right now in Lima. Awesome. Bringing my jacket. The sea temperature is 62 degrees at the moment. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, Punchy. Right. 54 there. Right. You go to, man, it's going to be cold. I probably should think about a sweater that he did. Michael Barber was mentioning that we should bring some warm clothes, at least one pair of warm clothes. And that will probably be my evening clothes more than anything, like my to relax and to hang out. I'll have like a sweatshirt and some jeans or something like that to keep my sneak in a pair of like some kind of Under Armour, like, oh, something warm hidden so I don't nobody even knows, like another layer underneath my jeans so I don't look like, so look so bad. But yeah, I'm gonna be shivering for a little bit at first, and I'm gonna try not to put too much of that on camera. I'll get it together. I was born in Colorado Springs, so I do know cold. Definitely grew up with that in my youth, but it has been a long time since Colorado, and I haven't had to deal with snow in a long time. Being here for the last 18 years, I'm pretty spoiled. It's about 80 something every day. You don't really think about weather here. Rain is one thing, but temperature is not really an issue here. I think the lowest temperature I've ever experienced here was up in the mountains. We got like 75 during our winter time. When we get the cold front that comes down from the states, I think we 76 degrees. That's like our record here. So, and that's a record. So even in the winter time here, you're still looking at about 78 days at night. People that live here their whole life, that's like blanket weather to them. What was that? I understand that one, Miss Ashley, but I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, the rummy nose tetra would be cool. Really, for me, it's the tetra. There's gonna be a lot of corridoras, I know, and they're gonna be a dime a dozen. They're gonna be everywhere. Um, how psyched am I about going to how psyched go? I'm psyched. This is a lifelong bucket list adventure here. I've always wanted to go to Peru. I used to live with a bunch of Peruvian guys when I did construction at one point with workers of carpenters from Peru, and they were some of the toughest guys I've ever worked with. They never complained. They worked hard. They worked overtime, and they played hard too. They're really, really good people. Very positive spirited people. Um, they weren't the kind of people that stress out, or get angry at work, and cuss. They were pretty mild tempered, very mellow people. Uh, Soft spoken, pretty much. They're very calm and relaxed people for sure. I really in that house with them, and I ate well, and I had a lot of really cool food that I hope to taste again when I'm in ceviche. We pretty much had ceviche every day, which ceviche is actually, I think, more of an Ecuadorian dish, but all through South America, each country kind of has their own style of ceviche. Another big a meat that I really like is chorizo, and I'd like to see their different forms of chorizo, that breakfast meat, or spicy meat sausage, pork sausage, and stuff like that they might find down there, as well as bread products. I'm really big into bread. I have a passion for bread making, bread baking, and so I'm definitely interested in checking out the bread for sure. But I am very stoked. I'm very psyched about it. I look forward to our evening in Lima. I look forward to maybe I don't know if I want to take the weight or waste the space with bringing this cannon, but you know well, anyways, it's in bad shape. Count on it, anyways. But I was thinking, if I can shake it up and get it to actually at least record something, even if the screen doesn't work on the back, or even if it's a little messed up, I think that would be the camera that I would take with me out into the streets of Lima, just in case I do get robbed. That's the camera that I lose. I really want to film when we go out and go eat and stuff, but I guess I gotta assess the situation and make sure that we stay in good neighborhoods, not end up in any weird, rough neighborhoods like Joel and Corey did when they were in Germany. Um, but I think if we're close to our hotel, and if we talk to the people at the hotel, they can guide us and help us, stay in safer areas. I'm sure you'll have no problem finding some cool food and finding some a nice experience for that evening while we're in Lima. But I definitely not gonna just go there and hide in my hotel room. I'm too adventurous for that. I wouldn't be paying. I wouldn't be spending all this money to go to hide in my hotel room in Lima for that night. um, I'm still trying to find a piece of luggage that actually is big enough so that I can fit all my production equipment. Um, but you'd have to be checked baggage, Priscilla. That's the only unfortunate part about that. You would have to be in checked baggage, because I don't think you're gonna make it. You're not gonna fit carry on, unfortunately. And then we don't want to mess up. And then there's the problem where they might like lose my luggage. Now you're lost. Then we lose Priscilla, and we got to stay in Peru for another day until Priscilla shows up and checked baggage. So I don't know about that one, but nope, never even seen a Jaguar. But you know, I you never know. We might even see something like that. There's opportunity of seeing something like that, but I have heard about them being very tame as well, where they might walk through the village or something, and they go about their merry way, and they cut through the little village and go back up into the hills. A suit of armor. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to hike. And as soon as I get in the water, I'm gonna sink. I was really interested in finding an underwater housing for this new Sony A6500, but a quality housing is going to be a lot more, like almost $1,000. There's like the cheapy ones for about 300, and I'd rather spend that money on better things right now. So I'm just going to go with my GoPro and use that for any of my underwater footage. I do have I have the underwater housing for it, obviously, but I am looking into. I might even make a tray or a rig, an underwater rig out of PVC pipe, a DIY thing. There's a lot of those on YouTube, or I might just buy something, but have a little double-handed rig for my GoPro so that I can get a lot steadier shots. So I guess I'm giving in, and I'm going to use my GoPro Hero for my underwater footage, because that's really what's important to me too. When I think about going there and filming, we're going there to film fish. I mean, I can film a lot of stuff above the water, but I really like to get in there. I am going to take my snorkel gear with me, not my fins, because I don't think I really need my fins, but I will be taking my snorkel and mask so that I can, do a little free diving into the water a little bit, and get underneath there and try to sneak up on fish a little bit and try to get some shots of some of these fish in their natural environments before we start pulling out the sign nets and murking up the water and scaring all the fish and stuff like that. So that is a hope of mine. That's something I really would like to do is get some really nice underwater images. That's why I was thinking about the housing, but the GoPro does well as long as I can keep it steady. That's just that's the biggest issue with that. But I've been working with Jimmy, and there are settings that you can do. You can really, what I've been told the best is lower the amount of light coming in, lower your ISO, and then um, kick your frame rate up as high as you can get it, like 120 frames per second, and a really low ISO, and that should get you the best thing that you can get raw, and then in post you can slow it down to 30 or 60 frames per second, and then put it through stabilization in post, or track an image in there and lighten everything up, zoom it in a little bit, and really that'll really calm down any of the shaking of the image and stuff like that, and make it a lot more stabilized and more pleasant to watch. So that is my goal, is to really learn my GoPro before I go, and you're going to see me doing a lot more underwater cinematography in the ocean and in the freshwater here up until my trip, so that I can really fine tune my skills of filming underwater, and programming my camera, custom programming my GoPro to give me the best footage possible. So that's a big plan for me. A gunny sack for catnip. Nice. That's gonna help out a lot. You want to see me get attacked by a jaguar? Yeah. Um. What else was I gonna talk about? Well, besides the mosquitoes and stuff, there's other kind of crazy bugs and poisonous. There's the ants. There is gonna be some. There is a bumblebee that is pretty poisonous as well. And there are some, not like killer bees, there is killer bees, but there are different kinds of bees that they have there that they're not your traditional like German honeybee, and they're a lot smaller, and they are aggressive. They make little smaller nest wood, and I have been attacked by them when I was a kid, when I lived in Mexico, in the jungles of Mexico. I remember one time I was out in the jungle with my father, and we weren't on trails. My father would lead the way with the machete and just clear the path with the machete, and I would follow behind and with the other guys. And I turned around at one point when my father and some other guys were looking at some stuff in the jungle, and I turned around, and before I could even think about it, like all I saw was this little round ball, this little ball nest, like hanging from a tree that was about this big around, about the size of a baseball. And in the head, my head, all I had was that's interesting, and all I saw was like 5 or 6 of these bees come straight from my mouth. Um, Bees and wasps and stuff like that, they can see oxygen, carbon dioxide. I'm sorry, just like mosquitoes. People might not realize that, but mosquitoes can see carbon dioxide when it's coming off your skin, and bees are the same way. They can see it and smell the carbon dioxide. Knew that one way that they like to attack their victim is go for those sources because they know that they're a sensitive like orifice. So the bees will usually go for your ears, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth because they decide that it's being emitted from that body. So these bees came straight from my face, right from my mouth, and I got 2 of them sting me right in the lip. And it was the funniest thing. I'm like 5 years old, jungles of Mexico with my father, and I got this. It looked like somebody just punched me in the face. I had this big, fat lip, very odd. It was an extremely swollen lip and face. The whole side of my face here, my lip was all swollen up. It's crazy, but there's definitely some crazy bees and stuff. It's not just the mosquitoes, but I do think of like bacterial infections from mosquitoes. I mean, you think about it's like it's invisible like thing that's going to get you. You don't even I mean, but you don't even know right off the bat that you're in trouble now, and now you've got something in your bloodstream that could possibly kill you, or at least make you bedridden for weeks. We do have dengue here in the Virgin Islands, and I've never suffered from it in the 18 years I've been here, but I've had plenty of my friends that have suffered from dengue, and it's like kind of like mononucleosis, like mono. You your whole body is achy and in pain to move a muscle or to move a joint in your body. It feels like your bones are broken. All your bones in your body are broken and they ache, and it's just pain. You're like in pure agony of pain. The only thing that feels good is to not move at all, to just lay there and not move. And all you have to do is move one muscle in your body, and pain will just shoot through your body, and just this achy achiness. And it lasts for about 2.5 weeks until it's really all you can do. It is just let it get through let it play its way out of your body. It takes about 2.5 weeks or so. So I've been blessed to never had that, but it's pretty popular for people to get that. Trying to catch all this chats. Be nice to get a Jaguar per on audio. Yeah, I'm not getting that close, Dwayne. I did hear. I used to have this old jungle recording, right? It was like this rainforest recording that, like, you listen to it before, and in that recording where they had the microphone and stuff set up in the jungle, like walks by the microphones and makes a little like grumble and growl, a little growl and stuff. And yeah, they sound intimidating. That's for sure. If I heard that, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just pee my pants. I would freeze and pee my pants first, and then oh, I would just pretty much. I'd be like Dwayne said. Yeah, I'd probably just urinate myself and close my eyes. Wouldn't know what to do. What was the question? How did it go? I don't know what you're referring to there, Ashley. What do we say? Thunder and lightning. Where we have? Yeah, it's been pouring rain here the last 2 days. It actually kind of chilled out today. Um, Yesterday was pretty rough for me, so I took it easy. But I really should have got out today, out into the wild, because I love it when we get a lot of rain. It just really changes things in the bush here, and it fills the creeks up with a lot of water. Um, I think we will be getting some more rain through this next week. So as long as it stays like that, the water will just collect and collect, and it should be really nice next weekend as well. Want to go swim through some fresh water. That's for sure. Let's see who's checking out that here. Yeah, it seems to be raining everywhere, right, Dank? It's like raining in Colorado. It was raining in it's as I know, raining in Memphis. It's raining here. Oh, they're saying the same thing. Lots of thunderstorms and rain and lightning and thunder. We get rain here, but we usually don't get big lightning storms and thunderstorms. In the last 3 days, just been like really ominous dark clouds and major thunder and lightning that actually it blew up my friend's phone. I hit a telephone pole and fried his phone. His landline, obviously. Some people still have those landline things. Right? A cheetah, you're not going to outrun a cheetah, but you're not really going to outrun a jaguar either, though. Not so much. Yeah, the internet went out here yesterday. I was watching some live streams, and I was in a panel actually, even, and power went out right in the middle of it without even out a blink. It just totally dropped out, and it was out for hours and hours. But it's island life, anyways. The angel spawn, Jeffros. I just let it go. I let them do their thing. I let I let them eat the eggs and get rid of the rest. In the end, it wasn't going to. I really shouldn't have. Well, I didn't try to influence it in the first place. I've been feeding them a lot, and the water temperature is pretty cool for them. So, it's like 75, 76 in the evenings, even on them. They can handle it. I know they can handle it. They've been living with it for a long time. It's because we have, run the AC in the house, so we would sweat all night, anyways. So, normally, to influence that or to trigger it, I would turn the temperature up to about 82, 84 degrees and feed them a lot and try to do some live food and stuff like that, and that would get it going. But it was just the food alone, really, that triggered it. Just feeding them a lot, feeding them like 2 or 3 times a day, and that triggered it. But I can't deal with that going to Peru. I cannot deal with having any kind of fry in this house. I'm actually getting rid of fish before I go to Peru. I just got rid of about 12 fish earlier this week, and I have some fish in a grow out tub I've got to get rid of. I do have an Indler breeding program, and I can't really do anything about that. I don't want to get rid of those guys, but they're in heavily planted grow out tubs, so they will survive for 2 weeks without being fed pretty much. They can make it. I Part of the thing is too, I don't know that I'm going to have someone to feed fish while I'm gone. I might find someone that I really trust to come by and do it, but yeah, I'm not going to get into details, but things have changed around here in my house, so there's not going to be anybody around here to feed my fish in the end for those 2 weeks. Oh, let's see. Yeah, well, see the problem too here when you say Dank is saying we need the rain. We need the rain bad. Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's how it is here too. We kind of here in the Virgin Islands, we don't have city water unless you live within city limit enough to do. So I have city water, but most people here do not have city water. So they have cisterns. This is pretty much the foundation of their homes, and they rely on rainwater, or they have to buy water, have trucks of water bring in like 2,500 gallons of water at a time, 3,000 gallons of water at a time to their house, and pump that into the cistern, where it is then pumped out of there through a pressure system, through a pressure tank, and pressurizes the house with that. So that being the case, me being a plumber, it gives me a lot of work. Pretty much every house on this island has a pump system to pressurize their household water. So yeah, every house has a pump, and then you want to also have a pretty hefty water filtration system on your house because you're dealing with cistern water that has a combination of rainwater, and there might be bugs and stuff and animals that fall into that. So you have to filter the water, run it through RO. I'm not RO. Well, some people do, but UV lights, if nothing else. Most everybody has a three-stage water treatment system, water filtration system, with a UV filter, UV light on that as well. And those people still, I don't recommend anybody to drink that water still. I wouldn't drink it myself. The only water I drink here is RODI water. Healthy for you, honestly, because it's has nothing in it. So it'll actually deplete. If you know to drink RODI water, you actually would be depleting all of the minerals in your body because it would wash the minerals out of your body. But it is still the best. It's the safest water to drink here. You just have to remineralize it, like I do for all my fish tanks. Sorry, quiet. I'm sitting here checking out the chat. Um, I don't know what else I was gonna go over here. Really, I did want to cover some things real quick. Let's see. Well, I still have everybody here. I just wanted to cover my Patreon. 54 Punchy mentioned it a few times. I'm not so worried about not necessarily promoting it more than anything. I mean, it's there if anybody's interested in it. But, well, I do want to say sorry about the news. It was the camera, but I am sorry that I wasn't able to do the news filmed because that's how I prefer it. The production value is so much better that way. But either way, I wanted to say thank you to the Patreons that I have as of right now. It really means a lot to me, and I just wanted to give those people a shout out because of their support has really helped me in the purchase of this new camera, the Sony A6500 that'll be here tomorrow. So I definitely feel I need to give you guys a shout out because I thank you guys so much. So let me just cut through this list real quick. Hopefully one day it'll be so long I won't be able to do this. But right now I have 26 Patreons. Let's start with my first Patreon, which is yeah, that was my first Patreon, which is Jesse. Most people know Jesse. His channel name is HC Aqua. We have Bill Stewart, really cool, a really good guy, and in the fish keep community we have James Dye. We have James Hirsch. I have John Corey. Um, I do have Susan for SLC Aquatics. I have Joel Christensen, Corvus Oskin. There's Jessica Short, Daryl Dimmer. Thank you so much, Daryl, for everything that you do, all your support. We have Q Aquatics. I have Science Gal Aquatics as one of my patrons as well. We have Keith Boardley, Tim Lewis, Rebecca M. I have Brandon. We know him as Mr. B's Fish and Things. We have Gina Tucker, Gina Tucker's Aquariums. We have Morgan Newby, Cecilia's Hobby. Thank you so much. You're in the chat right now. Melissa Byers. We have Lucas Bretts of LR Bretts Aquatics. Thank you so much as well. I really do appreciate all your support. Robbie Taylor, which is Chicken Lips. We have Mad Fish Diva. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We have Candy Overhauls, one of my new Patreons. I really do appreciate your support, and I try to do everything I can to support you and your family as well. Let's see. We have Pax, a really big. My two top Patreons. I have Stover. Thank you for all of your support, and of course the one and only Priscilla MK of Priscilla MK Arts. Thank you for your support so much. I really do appreciate it, and I think most people know her as an artist. She does some really nice live streams of her art projects, which are really cool. And I say go check out her channel. I'm pretty sure most of you know Priscilla and her channel. that she's been really supportive, and she's the one that started the GoFundMe for me, which was a pretty emotional experience for me. I never expected anything like that within the community to happen in my direction. I've been trying to make those things happen for other people, but I definitely will pay it forward. That's the way it goes. It has to go around full circle. That's how we keep the community alive. That's how we take care of each other, and get things done around here. Who did I miss? Everybody. I've mentioned everybody that's in here right now. Um, but yeah, yeah, Jesse. Thank you. I see you're in the chat. You showed up. Awesome, awesome. Um, what was it? Yeah, Ashley was gonna go hiking around the lake today, is what I was told. I am to take some pictures. It would probably be really cool if she actually filmed some of that with her phone or something like that, and put something up on the old YouTubes for us. That would be really cool. Hint, hint. Let's see. Let me scroll up through here, see if I missed anything. I'm totally up for some questions. I only have a few minutes, about 4 or 5 minutes left in the stream. I don't want to ramble on too much. I just wanted to kind of get to hang out with you guys for a minute today, and just say thank you guys for all of your support, and everything that all of you in this chat right now. It looks like pretty much a mod squad in the chat right now. Um, but I do want to thank all of you for your support, and support that you give to other channels. We all work together here to keep this going, and I've preached it many times before. We are definitely a beautiful thing here on the YouTube platform. It's a very positive community, and we are a good example to the rest of the platform for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna do something right here. I gotta finish off this, make this a full-on mod squad here. And Cecilia's hobbies. Um, you just got the wrench there, Miss Cecilia. Well, thank you. And I think as Priscilla said, that there are people. That's one big platform, or content creators. To me, the content creators that really inspire me the most are the ones that are really doing it with complete and total, like, unconditional passion. They're doing this because they love it. They're doing it because it's more of a lifestyle for them. Fish keeping in the hobby is a lifestyle. It's not just a hobby that they do on the side. They wake up and they take care of their fish before they give themselves food. You know what I mean? That is true dedication to the hobby, and thing. That's for sure. To do a panel, maybe next weekend, only because I'm at my 1 hour mark right now. But Ashley was talking about doing a panel, sending out a link. That would be something I'd be interested in doing next week. If anybody would be interested in coming in and doing a panel, that'd be really cool. But I probably start that early. I start at like 1 o'clock, right after, I do it right after D from Down the Wormhole does her stream, and I would go for like 2 hours so that we can just hang out and talk for a while, and I would open out to a panel. It would be cool, but I would totally be into that, but with a little bit more premeditated. Um, Inventory King, hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. I love your content, man. I definitely you've been in the news a few times. I'm sure of that. Um, that's it, man. It's a beautiful thing for a lot of people. Keeping the fish is is one of the greatest things, as he says there, and it's so true. It's therapy for a lot of us, and it's out of trouble. It's inspiration for a lot of us, and it's community for a lot of us as well. There's there's a fam. That's why we are the hashtag Fish Fam. This is truly it's more than a hobby, and I think most of us know that it runs a lot deeper in most of our veins than it just being a hobby that we spend our money on. For sure. I mean, when it's a hobby that involves living things and keeping animals, keeping living things alive, um, it's more of a to me the fish keeping hobby is more of a celebration of nature, really a way of celebrating nature because what are we trying to do? We're trying to take a little piece of nature and bring it inside our home so that we can um, cherish it even more and celebrate it by having it in our living room. That's a beautiful thing, you know. Yeah, Priscilla. As Priscilla says, don't forget to hit the like button. It's always nice to do. But I do want to thank all of you for hanging out in the chat. I really appreciate it. This is a super awesome community, and take all this extra work to just make sure that I have the money. But things are starting to clear up for me. It's starting to look. I'm starting to the see the sun through the clouds, so to speak, and starting to be able to count some money and know that I'm going to be okay, and I can rely about that. I'm definitely going to be putting a lot more energy into creating some content from now until a couple of weeks, and there will be content being posted up on my channel while I'm gone, which will be really nice. So I'm not going to forget about you guys while I'm gone. And if we do get strong enough Wi-Fi, I'm sure that any of us YouTubers that are there are going to try to find a way to do a live stream. We might have to do it all together, like do a live stream. All four of us will be just sitting on a couch together, maybe, or something like that, just to kill four birds. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the Wi-Fi goes in the house. We're supposed to have internet in the house where we're staying, but sure it's going to be pretty light. It'll probably be some kind of a Google Hangout that we do if we. Yeah, 54 punchy. There'll be plenty of video, and as I've mentioned to some people before, I have already organized some from the island. He's a good friend of mine. He's from Ecuador, and he has agreed to help me edit my footage when I return from Peru. Putting a lot of energy into this, and I want to make sure that the content that comes from it is quality, and that I'm actually taking it up a notch and taking it up to another level. So I do look forward to giving you some really awesome content of Peru when I return, as soon as it can get it edited and get it posted up onto YouTube. But I will be taking on an employee. Yeah, he's a friend, but I will be having someone work for me as of my return from Peru, which is a big step as well. You know, I don't have the money. I could say I don't have the money to hire someone else to work with me on my channel, but I think when you want something bad enough, you're gonna find a way to do it. You know, $25 an hour to have someone help me edit, someone who's passionate and good at what they do. That's well worth it to me, and I could be spending that money on a lot of other things. Um, so I definitely am, you know, have no problem hiring somebody to work with my channel so that I can give you guys better content. I know that you know, for me, this is not a I'm not looking for instant gratification at this. This is something that I love, and I don't plan on stopping doing it anytime soon. So there's no stress, there's no rush for me to get anywhere. So I'm just taking my time and enjoying it. I think that's the key with anything in life, is having a passion for it, doing it because you love it, and if you're doing it that way, it's not really work for you. It's you're enjoying it, and you're not looking for the outcome so much. So many people kind of have a dream, but their dream is based on end result, and that's not how I live my life. To me, living my dream is living a journey that I enjoy. To me, it's about the journey, not the destination. It's about enjoying the whole journey and the process of getting to that point. And I preached that many times before, but that is how I live my life, and that is how I'm making my dreams come true. Is not focusing on this end goal, because you're always going to be upset, or you can have it, get bummed out easy and get discouraged, because it's going to take a long time to get to here if that's all you ever focus on. You have to enjoy the process and the journey to get there. And I do, and that's what makes this fun. I enjoy making the content. I enjoy editing. I enjoy filming it. I enjoy sharing with you guys. I enjoy getting wet in the creeks and hiking through the woods, and that's the fun part for me. It's there's not some end goal that I have to get to, and if I don't get to that point at a certain time, then I'm going to be discouraged and stop doing this. I don't see an end in sight with this YouTube channel, honestly, at this point. Um, it would take something very drastic and unfortunate to happen somewhere in my life, like lose my voice or my head to a Jaguar. Is some of the only ways. It's the only thing that's going to stop me from continuing my journey here and my ventures here on YouTube. That's it. Life is an adventure. You got to enjoy the adventure. Enjoy life. Enjoy enjoy the journey, not the destination. That's all I can say about that. Um, and I'm going over 6 minutes. One other thing I want to share, because I've got to put this out there, because that's part of my belief, is creating stuff is part of it, is manifesting it. You have to say it out loud. You have to share it with other people if you ever want something to happen. All of you that are out there, they're still hanging out in my stream here at the end. Of course, I want to say thank you for still being here and hanging in here for an hour and listening to me ramble. But I do want to say and bring to light again my plans within the next year or two to do a cross country trip uh, of the hashtag Fish Fam, which it doesn't just have to be people that make content. There's a lot of people in this community that don't make videos, that don't even have a fish tank, but they're very much part of this community, and they are very much as welcome on this journey as anybody else on in the niche here on YouTube. But I look forward to doing a cross country trip over 2 weeks, starting up north in Washington, up in Seattle or whatnot, and making our way down across the western coastline and across the United States and back up like Massachusetts up into the New England area and stuff like that to see everybody that we can and try to cover that whole span over. Nice, Ashley. Nice emojis. You worked hard to find those, I'm sure. Let's see. But no, I definitely like to do this trip. So just putting it out there to the rest of you, everybody out there in this chat that's listening, if you're interested in this, try to contact me through my Facebook, which is, Joseph Harden, or my JH Aquatics Facebook page. And just contact me personally if you need to, if you really have an interest or some way that you think that you can help out to make this happen. The goal really is to get a sponsorship to save some money, try to get a sponsorship with an RV company that rents RVs. Like Go RVing is one that I've been trying to contact via email to see if they'd be interested in working with us. But to acquire an RV, maybe there's someone out there in the family that wants to, you know, uh, donate their RV for this journey and be there for the whole time and help drive or whatnot. That's something that could be out there. I'm open to making this happen however we want to, or however it's possible. To me, the key is take what you have and make the best of it in life. So however we could do this would be cool. But that's going to be pretty much the end of my chat here. Is just to any of you that might be interested in that cross country, basically a trip to different fish stores, different breeders' houses that are interested in being part of it, and checking these places out. I also want to get together about 8, maybe 10 aquariums that we can stop in different cities and go to different schools and donate an aquarium and spend about an hour or two with a class, help them set up the aquarium, teach them about the cycle, work with the teacher, and bam, back on the road and we're gone. but it would be really cool to donate some aquariums to some classes, to some science teachers or biology teachers and stuff like that across states. And even more specifically, like impoverished areas, low income like neighborhoods and stuff like that, somewhere where it's really going to have more of an impact than it would at in other places where they have the ability to do this stuff on their own if they wanted to. So that is really a really a cool idea. I say that it's a dream, but it's a dream, but it's going to happen. I'm saying it right now. It's going to happen, and we're going to make it happen together. I'm going to do whatever I can, but I think together we can do that and actually do something beneficial with value and make a difference to at least 8 or 9 or 10 schools, as well as supporting the hobby for sure. Um, Anyways, that's my rant. That is my rant. Thank you so much, Honeybee, for being there. She just said, "Ignore me." Um, Anyways, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. It means so much. Prolific Read, I did see you there. Sorry if I didn't say hello to you at first. Um, let's see. Like I said again, contact me if any of you guys are interested in that RV trip, cross country. If any of you have any great ideas, anything cool that we could do differently, to make it even more interesting and more realistic financially or whatnot, that would be cool as well. So thank you, 54 Punchy, for all of your support, for throwing the links out there. Thank you, Ashley, for those links as well. And Priscilla, for everything that you've done for me, everything that you do in the stream every time I'm live. And everyone else in here, all of my Patreons that are here hanging out, thank you so much. Um, I don't know what else to say except remember, guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.